Go. Khan smashing across the chest. Blocked that time by Khan. Front chancery with Killer Khan. Now Khan. Move inside, and it is a good block and a back out by Eddie Graham. Graham keeping him tied up, and time continues to move. And Graham now pulling out the stops. Graham, who apparently started off defensively, now has decided he's going to take the battle to Killer Khan. And Graham moves in. He catches him with a hard right hand. Khan rips across the eyes. Graham lashes out, and Khan now letting out all the stops. Full slam on Eddie Graham. Khan drives a knee into the chest. No, sir. Did not get the pin, and Masao Hattori shouting and waving instructions to Killer Khan. Graham down. Graham in trouble on that canvas now. And again, Masao Hattori issuing more instructions. A knee to the midsection of Eddie Graham, another knee. Now Graham fires one to the midsection of Killer Khan. Aha! That one caught him solidly on the side of the jaw, but Khan. Both into those ropes again. The referee calling for the break. It's Khan with a chop. Graham. The right hand once again. Khan drives that knee. Now it's Graham back. Another one to the midsection. Oh, a chop across the throat and another one. And Graham on those ropes and in trouble now. Graham caught again. You can hear the chant here being picked up here at the Sportatorium. Go, Eddie, go. 1, 2. No, sir. Move that shoulder out before that count of 3. And Graham still fighting back gamely. Graham in trouble now. Caught in the throat. Repeated boots to the top of the head now, and Graham. Khan has still not been able to put his shoulders down for that count of 3. Salvatore said he could. Graham. Both men up and over and outside, and it is Graham back into the ring. Killer Khan outside the ring. And Masao Hattori complaining. Masao Hattori complaining about going over that top rope. Masao Hattori in the ring now, saying that the match should be his. And now we've got Masao Hattori and the referee, and Graham back on his feet. Graham now going for the figure 4. Eddie Graham going for the figure 4. Broken up Hito and Sakurada in there. Hito and Sakurada, both of them after Eddie Graham. Now they've got Graham. Oh, they chop him in the throat. Wait a minute, here comes Mike Graham and Ray Stevens. Graham taking repeated punches to the throat. Mike Graham and Ray Stevens in there. Graham is down. Killer Khan coming to his feet, and we've got us a real Pier 6er going here now. Sakurada and Ray Stevens, and it's Mike Graham and Hito in the far corner. Eddie Graham outside the ring. Eddie Graham coming back into that ring after Killer Khan catches him over the top of the head. Khan is down. He catches Hito. Khan is down, and Graham catches a chop in the head. He fell over Khan. He's got the... Eddie Graham has a pinfall over Killer Khan. And Sakurada and Hito have left the ring. Let me get over there and see if I can talk to them. Let me find out how he is. I'll be over there. Killer Khan being escorted from the ring at this time, and they're bringing in Eddie Graham having his hand raised in victory, and so they said that Masao Hattori said that he could have his man pin Eddie Graham twice in 10 minutes. He not only couldn't do that, but he ended up getting pinned himself. There you see it again, Eddie Graham's hand being raised in victory. I want to take a moment, if I can, to talk to Eddie. I know he's dazed and battered from all of what happened in there, but and just as soon as he gets a little composure here, I certainly want to say that Masao Hattori certainly raised the hackles of a man that he never should have messed with in the first place. He said he could beat this man 2 falls in 10 minutes. Instead, it's Eddie Graham having his hand raised in victory. And Ed, are you capable enough to talk for a moment or so?
About what?
Well, first of all, you took an awful risk, Eddie. You haven't been wrestling in a while. A lot of things must have gone through your mind when you stepped into that ring.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. I guess, Gordon. But you know, when somebody says they can beat you 2 falls in a certain amount of time, that's biting off a hell of a lot. Really, because all I got to do is be defensive. So, you know, I wasn't that far out front. I thought it out pretty carefully, and the man's got to beat me, you understand? There's a lot of difference in going out and going after somebody as opposed to just being defensive and wait for him to shoot in. I guarantee you.
Well, Eddie, I know you started off, you looked like you had that theory in mind. You were being fairly defensive, but suddenly something in here triggered you and you went after him.
Well, I don't know, Gordon. You know, as any professional athlete, body contact sport I'm talking about, street fighter, brawler, whatever, I guarantee you that I've been in that ring about 8,000 times in my lifetime. And I never went in that I didn't have a little bit of nervousness or butterflies, what do you want to call it. I think sometimes that may be healthy because it makes you prepare. But as any one of them will tell you, that as soon as you make contact, that all disappears, brother. It's gone. You can be nervous, whatever, but as soon as you make contact, you do what you're trained to do, I suppose. I had some plans in my mind and setups and things that I thought he might be trying to defense figure 4 and this and that. But once you make the contact, I guess it all goes out the window and it just reverts back to instinct. And with people like this, and I'm not going to call them, because they are athletes, they're tough. They're tough. I can't use the word, but you know, they're well conditioned, and they'll use anything in the world to win, so I'm not going to sell them short. But I did have a game plan in mind that I thought maybe I could set them up or something. I figured the thing they're worried about was a figure 4, and I had some other things in mind. But something better came up. Mainly a chair, brother, and that's what it really boils down to, is they say that a good coach can recognize it and a great coach can't teach it. And that's guts and desire. And all my experience and all my everything, I guess that's what it boils down to. If I got the good Lord to thank for anything, is that where I was born up in them Tennessee mountains, brother, if you didn't have heart and desire, you were finished to begin with. So I ain't gonna lay down and quit. That's my bottom line.
There you have it. The comments from Eddie Graham. May I just say this? There goes a wrestler and one hell of a man.
You know, there's a movement, and it's a very, very funky movement. Yes, it is, Rhodes. There's a funky movement because you see, I have got my fans, you egg-sucking dog, and put yourself in that cage, and believe me, I can get your head up against that wire, and I can blur your vision like you blurred mine so many years ago, and I can keep you from running, Rhodes. Yes, I can keep you from running because you have no place to go. And listen, one time when I was a young boy, I saw a deer hung up on a fence where he tried to jump that fence, and it had ripped his hide and his sinew, and the tendons were hanging out, and it kicked there till it died. Well, listen, Rhodes, you try to climb out and the same thing might happen to you. Now, I want to say one other thing, is that I am the Florida State heavyweight champion, and I am here not to just be here for a short period of time. I brought my truck down, I brought my trailer down, and I brought my horse down to Florida, and I'm moving here, Rhodes, and the movement has started, and it's going to end in Hollywood.
59 cents and a 4
matches for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing on my right the Florida Tag Team Champions from San Francisco, weighing 245 pounds, Ray Stevens. His partner from Tampa, weighing 218 pounds, Mike Graham. Their opponents from Scandinavia, weighing 303 pounds, Thor the Viking. His partner from parts of no weight unknown, the Masked Terror.
Thor the Viking and the Masked Terror going up against the Florida Tag Team Champions, Mike Graham and Ray Stevens. And Don Curtis has joined me here at the desk. Don Curtis, of course, a member of the U.S. Olympic Committee, Category 1 referee, promoter in Jacksonville, and an all-around tremendous athlete.
Gordon, thank you very much. And this is an opportunity to see this young team, Big Mike Graham and his partner Ray Stevens, competing against some pretty fair competition. It's a tremendous opportunity for Mike working with Ray as a partner to develop the skills that great veteran has, and it's proven to be a very successful combination. These two have been impressive.
Certainly no question about that, and we just saw him take 300 pounds up over his shoulders, now Thor the Viking.
Mike, of course, is a very powerful man, a power lifter, one of the best in the state, as you know, championship winner, and still continues to train with those heavy weights, which is what's made him so effective against these big, heavy men.
Graham moving in on his man very quickly. Thor the Viking rolling away from it, however. Now Graham reaching up, trying to make that tag with Ray Stevens. Graham back on his feet. And, of course, that adrenaline's already flowing after what happened a little bit earlier on. Now the Masked Terror moves in against Graham. A good arm drag takedown, a float over. Tried to get into a lateral press position, but Graham sits out, and a good escape back on his feet.
Masked Man's a great wrestler. He moves extremely well, trying to control his opponent, but Mike isn't the kind that gets caught in too many traps. He looks out pretty well. Look at that move. A reach around, caught up in that thing. This is a great counter to any kind of an arm hold, especially when you have the limberness of Mike Graham. Moved in, hip locked his man into the takedown.
Ray Stevens in there now. What a combination. Two legendary names in the professional wrestling, Graham and Stevens, and they are indeed the Florida Tag Team Champions. Again, the tag is made. Double teaming on Stevens. Thor the Viking catching Stevens on the side of the jaw.
Notice Ray keeps constantly trying to get back to his partner, trying to work his way away from the opposing corner in order to get into a safe position.
Again, that tag is made, and again, we'll see some double teaming here between the Masked Terror and Thor the Viking, and Stevens caught. Double teaming again on Stevens. Now Mike Graham moves in. We got all four of them in the ring at the same time. Another Pier Sixer going.
These fellas are desperately trying to prove they can handle it. That didn't work out well for them.
Thor the Viking hurdled outside the ring. Ray Stevens whips the Masked Terror in. Halfway across the ring, Mike Graham moves in very quickly. Mike Graham goes for the figure four. The Eddie Graham figure four leg lock, and the referee calls for the bell. The referee calls for the bell as the Masked Terror concedes. And so, Ray Stevens and Mike Graham, the Florida Tag Team Champions. We'll take a look at that teamwork again very, very quickly. You'll see exactly what we're talking about. Watch here. Now the tag is made. Stevens catches his man, catches him all the way into the middle of the ring. Mike Graham charges in very quickly, deftly applies that figure four, and it is all over. The winners of the match, Ray Stevens and Mike Graham.
That's right. You know, Gordon, anywhere, any town, any place in Florida, Terry Funk, I finally got my hands on you. You've been going around bragging, saying I ain't been from Texas, or last name like Fernandez don't come from Texas. Well, brother, you've forgotten who discovered Texas. And I'm just going to have to show you exactly how big a Texan I am, brother. If you don't think I'm a big enough Texan, when you get in that ring, you're going to watch me grow, Terry Funk, because I'm sick and tired of you saying that I'm not from Texas. I'm a Texas, and I'm proud of being from Texas. I played at West Texas State, one of the better universities, and I know because you played there, and I'll admit this much, you were a heck of a football player, and I think I was a heck of a football player too. But Terry Funk, when it comes to the ring, if you want to get down, we're going to get down, brother, because I can wrestle, and that's all that counts, brother.
And it'll all happen Friday, October 19th in Homestead at the National Guard Armory.
This match is for one fall, time remaining. Introducing for parts unknown, weighing in at 230 pounds, Sweet Brown Sugar. His opponent from Minnesota, weighing in at 250 pounds, Bill Irwin.
Bill Irwin going up against Sweet Brown Sugar.
Gordon, I just want to mention to the folks up in Jacksonville, you know, we have a traditional Thanksgiving Day match in Jacksonville. Every Thanksgiving in the afternoon, we have the big Turkey Day match, and this Thanksgiving, we have something very special, a big surprise for all our wrestling fans. And I won't give any of the details at the moment, but keep your eye out for that big Thanksgiving Day match coming up this year, because it's going to be a dandy up there in Jacksonville.
Forward slam by Irwin on Sweet Brown Sugar. Crashes down with that elbow into a lateral press. And Sugar powered out of that one, though, and tremendous strength in this young fella.
He's a tremendous athlete and a man with a great future. And he has great plans for his future. He's determined that he's going to be the first black heavyweight wrestling champion of the world, and he's well on his way in that direction.
Certainly no question about that. He's a great athlete, and he has made that promise to his mother and dad. You know, his father is a minister, and this young fellow is a national champion in Irwin, caught in a high backdrop. And that has to take a tremendous amount of stamina out of a person, Don.
It certainly has. The big man, when he hits with all that tremendous momentum. And, of course, that's the secret to Brown Sugar's tremendous wrestling talent, the great lifting power. And he handles a man like this just exactly like he would handle a much smaller man. He lifts him with ease.
Bill Irwin powering out again before that count of three. Sugar caught that time coming up. Irwin out with a hard right hand, now a headbutt. Using that forearm across the back now, driving a knee to the midsection. And so, Sugar on those ropes. Giving away at least 30 feet. High leapfrog over his man. Wow! A drop kick that almost ripped his head off. Another one! Sweet Brown Sugar. Sugar going to the air. Irwin. What a jam shot. Count of three, and it is all over. It is all over, and we'll take a look at that again.
See that one. What a hit that was.
Sweet Brown Sugar. Now this man is all muscle and 2 yards wide. I'll tell you, watch this. Irwin staggering. Brown Sugar.
Look at the momentum he hit with that drop kick. Really nearly turned him upside down.
I'll tell you what. Would have been interesting to have a radar gun on that one to catch that speed when he came off.
That was unbelievable. What tremendous momentum, the power that he hits with.
And so your victor in no uncertain terms there, Sweet Brown Sugar. Eddie Graham made a comment, you know, earlier, right after he had that match with Killer Khan, and he said, and that's the bottom line. And I guess that's the one thing about Graham, is that that's where he deals, is with that bottom line. And I guess that's why he has been the success that he's been over the years in professional wrestling, and I guess that's why he is the kind of man that he is.
Well, he has lived the type of life that he believes is right. He believes that in order to be a champion, you had to be a champion all day long, and that's just the way that he is. It's kind of a man. He's a 100% champion all the time.
And he's the kind of a man, too, that'll reach way, way down and suck it up and come back and not only take all that punishment, but then be darn sure he's willing to give it out as well. Let's tell you what let's do. We've got a moment here. Let's go back and take a look at the closing moments of that situation. When Eddie Graham and Masala Torre had boastfully said that he could have any one of his men take Eddie Graham and pin him 2 falls in 10 minutes. Let's take a look at what happened to Killer Khan when he attempted that very feat here in the squared circle. Still not been able to put his shoulders down for that count of 3. Masala Torre said he could... Graham. Both men up and over and outside, and it is Graham back into the ring. Killer Khan outside the ring. And Masao Hattori complaining. Masao Hattori complaining about going over that top rope. Masao Hattori in the ring now, saying that the match should be his. And now we've got Masao Hattori and the referee and Graham back on his feet. Graham now going for the figure 4. Eddie Graham going for the figure 4. Broken up Hito and Sakurada in there. Hito and Sakurada, both of them after Eddie Graham. Now they've got Graham. Oh, they chop him in the throat. Wait a minute, here comes Mike Graham and Ray Stevens. Graham taking repeated punches to the throat. Mike Graham and Ray Stevens in there. Graham is down. Killer Khan coming to his feet, and we've got us a real Pier Sixer going here now. Sakurada and Ray Stevens, and it's Mike Graham and Hito in the far corner. Eddie Graham outside the ring. Eddie Graham coming back into that ring after Killer Khan catches him over the top of the head. Khan is down. He catches Hito. Khan is down, and oh, Graham catches a chop in the head. He fell over Khan. He's got the cliff.
Well, I don't imagine Masao Hattori will be making any more challenges like that in the future.
It had to be a losing operation right from the beginning to take a man like that and try to beat him in 10 minutes. You better be busy.
Hey, amen for sure. Don, I see our time is completely gone. A lot of things happening. The Funk's obviously trying to stop Dusty Rhodes. Joe LeDuc is back, and he's searching for Dusty Rhodes. We have this new man, Nature Boy Stanley Lane, coming in. He's going to be teamed up with Brian St. John.
How would you like it, Fernandez, if I told the people that you went ahead and you spent half your life in a reformatory for robbing 7-Eleven stores?
That's
how would you...
lie. That is a lie.
Well, you see how it makes you feel? Do you see how it makes you feel? Now go ahead and tell the people the truth. Tell them the truth, Fernandez.
I told him the truth.
Fernandez, especially. If that's the way you want it, Manny, if that's the way you want it.
Wait a minute. Terry Funk just Sundayed that. Ooh, Manny Fernandez caught him with a pile driver. Terry Funk just caught him with that microphone and then gave him a pile driver. Put Manny Fernandez, and Fernandez in trouble now. Fernandez has had that vertebrae jammed.
Say you're a liar! Say you're a liar right now, Fernandez! Admit that you're a liar! Get up from there if you got any guts! Get up! Get up! Get up! Come on, get up, Fernandez! Get up! Oh, now say it! Say it, Fernandez! Say it! Say it! Say it! Did you hear me? Say you're a liar! Say you're a liar! Say you're a liar! I said say it, Fernandez! Say it!
Fernandez just caught him. Fernandez sweeping. Caught him in the midst. Has Terry Funk upended now, and Fernandez after it. And Manny Fernandez, who was Sundayed by Terry Funk. Now it's Manny Fernandez battling back, the Florida heavyweight champion. And it is Fernandez on top now. Funk trying to fight his way back up after Funk Sundayed him with that microphone, and Fernandez after him again. Fernandez took that pile driver. Funk's trying to get him to say that he had lied. And it is Fernandez after him now all the way. And wait a minute, here comes Jack Briscoe. Jack Briscoe just came into the ring, and he wants some of Funk. And it is Terry Funk now beating a hasty retreat. Funk outside that ring And it's Manny Fernandez and Jack Briscoe standing there. Terry Funk. And it's Briscoe after him. And it is Funk now deciding that discretion is the better part of valor. He leaves. Jack Briscoe looking over Manny Fernandez, and we'll be back in just a moment. We'll be right back.
His opponent from Germany, weighing in at 242 pounds, the Gestapo.
Gestapo going up against Jack Briscoe. Manny Fernandez being checked. It appeared his nose was broken, but he's all man and a yard wide. Jack Briscoe moving out against the Gestapo now. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Briscoe in the blue trunks. Former world heavyweight champion out of Oklahoma State. Twice NCAA champion. Beautiful waist drag takedown. Back into the ropes. The referee calls for the break. Briscoe circles, moves in. Duck under, go behind by the Gestapo. Tried for a takedown. Beautiful reversal by Briscoe. Beautiful reverse. Nice ride. Posting that arm. Now Briscoe going for the far leg. Set far leg. Tries to get the Gestapo over on both shoulders. Has him in a predicament here with one shoulder on the canvas. Briscoe keeping that leg tied up. Briscoe keeping the pressure on. It's now the Gestapo trying to hook the head. Now goes for the hair and breaks it up. Chin lock on Jack Briscoe. Briscoe back to his feet. They're off into those ropes. Briscoe fires him off, drops to the canvas. Gestapo up. Drop toe hold by Jack Briscoe. Brought his man back to the canvas. Briscoe is another one who'll utilize his legs in a match. Very, very relies on them very heavily. Rear face now on the Gestapo. Meanwhile, Briscoe keeping a crotch right on that one leg, keeping the Gestapo tied up. Well, Briscoe maintaining the pressure of the Gestapo. That's the way he had that forearm coming across the eyes, now under the nose. That'll drive that cartilage back up toward the prefrontal lobe. Gestapo breaks it up momentarily. And Gestapo catches Briscoe in the throat, using a thrust to the throat. It looked like the extended fingers. Chop to the throat again that has Briscoe staggered backwards. Briscoe into those ropes. Gestapo whips him off. Catches him in the pit of the stomach coming off the ropes. And now the Gestapo planting the feet to the back of Jack Briscoe. Catches him under the jaw that time alongside, brings him up. Full body slam on Jack Briscoe. Gestapo comes charging up, drops that knee, but it was Briscoe out of the way just in time. And now Jack Briscoe punishing those femoris muscles. Briscoe steps in. It's broken up by the Gestapo. Briscoe back to the canvas. The Gestapo coming up rather slowly. That left leg giving him some problems. The Gestapo comes charging again. Briscoe caught him with the knees coming in. Three-quarter Nelson leg grapevine. Has him for that count of three. Briscoe utilizing three-quarter Nelson and a leg grapevine very effectively. And so your victor in this match, Jack Briscoe.
This match is for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Charlottesville, Virginia, weighing 240 pounds, Steve Travis. His partner from Mexico, weighing 234 pounds, Raul Mata. Their opponents from California, weighing 231 pounds, Brian St. John. And from South Carolina, weighing 236 pounds, Nature Boy Stanley Lane.
Nature Boy Stanley Lane and Brian St. John going up against Steve Travis and Raul Mata, that is. Travis against Brian St. John, and Travis wanting to mix it up in a hurry, and apparently the Blonde Bombers are not that anxious to at the moment. Brian St. John back in the corner with Nature Boy Stanley Lane. Travis sweeping toward those ankles, backouts by Brian St. John. Good move by Travis. Fireman carry takedown on Brian St. John. Tag is made with Raul Mata. Mata over that top rope, moves into the ring. Arm drag and twist on Brian St. John. Step over and take down. And excellent teamwork between Raul Mata and Steve Travis thus far. Brian St. John coming across the forehead of Raul Mata. Mata moves back in, collar and elbow. St. John using the elbow. Good move by Mata. Reverses the situation on Brian St. John. Hooks the near leg into a variation of the abdominal stretch. Brian St. John makes it to the ring ropes. Nature Boy Stanley Lane, a cheap shot on Raul Mata. And now double teaming as Travis came in, creating problems for Mata here. Brian St. John brings Mata up. Full body slam. Makes the tag with Nature Boy Stanley Lane. Takedown by Lane. Mata powers out before the count of three. Mata catches him in the pit of the stomach, but a hard forearm by Lane. Now Lane tags up with Brian St. John. Tag is made. Steve Travis moves in once again. Travis moving very effectively, flicking lefts and rights now. And caught him. Tried to set him with a backdrop, but he was caught with a knee. Now the tag is made. Nature Boy Stanley Lane moves back in. Referee warning Brian St. John to move out of the ring as Stanley Lane catches him. And again the tag is made. They catch Travis on the break, double teaming him. Travis caught with a snap nerve to the canvas. Brian St. John using that knee. Travis fires back to the midsection. Again, the tag is made. Nature Boy Stanley Lane moves in. A boot to the side of the rib cage of Steve Travis. As Travis full body slam. Stanley Lane. Travis powers out before the count of three as he tried with the lateral press to get that pinfall. Hard right hand to the ear. Again, the tag is made. Brian St. John. And now these two, the Blonde Bombers, have been tagging in and out. Great regularity. Good forearm that rocks him. And Travis now exploding. Brian St. John and Nature Boy Stanley Lane. He has him up a full body slam. Makes the tag. Raul Mata back into the ring. And it's Mata closing in again. Brian St. John in trouble now. Raul Mata catches him in the back. Takes him to the canvas once again. Mata down across the face of Brian St. John. Puts him off the far side. Leapfrog by Brian St. John. Caught him. Hard right hand. Brian St. John now losing his temper completely. Tag was made, and Stanley Lane double teaming there. Got a count of 3 on him. Got a count of 3. And the victors in this case, the Blonde Bombers, Nature Boy, Stanley Lane, and Brian St. John. We're going to take a look at that again, the kind of teamwork these two have. Notice this taking place before the count of 4. Atomic knee drop on the solidly set knee of Stanley Lane. Lane moves in, hooks the near leg, and a Nelson, and that is all over for Raul Mata. The winners again, Nature Boy Stanley Lane and Brian St. John. Title against Nature Boy Stanley Lane and Brian St. John. In the closing moments now of this Florida Tag Team Championship match, Eddie Graham being arm whipped across. Ray Stevens, good teamwork there, saving Graham from the brunt of that turnbuckle. Now it's Graham back in against Brian St. John. Graham, a good solid chop across the throat. The Florida Tag Team Championship on the line. Eddie Graham taking the place of Mike Graham, who was unable to appear. And in the closing moments, Graham and Stevens appear to be firmly in control of the Florida Tag Team Championship. And now watch Graham as he starts to arm whip Brian St. John across the ring, sees Stanley Lane over there, reverses his field, puts him back into the same turnbuckle, and catches him again. A solid right hand to the back of the ear that puts Brian St. John back to the canvas. And so the Blonde Bombers having their problems now in trying to gain the Florida Tag Team Championship. All 4 men in the ring at the same time. Stevens and Graham very quick to take advantage of this situation, putting a tremendous amount of stress on the quadriceps femoris muscles of both Brian St. John and Nature Boy Stanley Lane. The referee breaking it up, trying to get it back to 2 men in the ring at one time. And watch very carefully. Brian St. John on the canvas. It's Eddie Graham. And now watch as Graham gets up to that corner. Nature Boy Stanley Lane holding him. Now watch carefully as Ray Stevens comes moving back in. As the camera shifts back, there you see, and it appears that Stanley Lane is putting something back in his trunks. Graham is knocked to the canvas. He is stunned and down. Brian St. John crawls over. There it is, the inverted press, but it is Graham powering out before that count of 3. Tremendous fighting hard, great instinct here, great second effort. And now Graham, his face rapidly becoming a crimson mask as Brian St. John continues to pound away. And Graham, with a look of total rage on his face now, uncorks a clubbing right hand. Graham, who has the hardest punch in wrestling history, pounding away against Brian St. John, pounding away again, catching him in the right-hand side. Now moves over, gets over to try and make the tag with his partner, co-holder of the Florida Tag Team Championship, Ray Stevens. Stevens moves in. Both St. John and Lane now after Graham, and now Stevens in there breaking it up. Eddie Graham hurdling Lane outside the ring. It's Ray Stevens against Brian St. John. And now watch carefully. Stevens hurdled into those ropes, and again, Lane comes crashing into something, and again it appears he's putting something in his trunks. Brian St. John up on that second rope. Comes diving off the second rope across the chest of Ray Stevens. Hooks that near leg. Scores the pinfall, and of course the controversy surrounding this situation, was there a foreign object or not? Apparently not, because the referee did not see it. However, it certainly appeared more than somewhat suspicious. But for the moment at least, the new Florida Tag Team Champions are in fact Brian St. John and Nature Boy Stanley Lane. Gentlemen, albeit you have the Florida Tag Team Championship belts, but certainly not without, as we just saw, much controversy.
Gordon Solie, a very, very big day in the state of Florida, no doubt in my mind. The new Tag Team Champions, Nature Boy, Stanley Lane, and Brian St. John. I think the film was pretty self-explanatory, huh? What you had was 4 superb athletes locked in combat. Eddie Graham, Ray Stevens, Wally Ring veterans. Speed, the stamina, and the charisma of the 2 men sitting before you, and we did emerge victorious. The belts are around their waist, and they're going to stay there, brother.
You know, the camera does not lie, Gordon Solie.
He's telling me that after what happened to him last week here on Championship Wrestling regarding Terry Funk, and what Terry Funk did to him, that Fernandez says anytime, anywhere, any place, but more particularly, he wanted to meet him right here today on television. Said he was embarrassed by thousands in front of thousands and thousands of people, and he wants to offset that situation. But I have heard no word from Mr. Funk. But Manny Fernandez has issued an open challenge. I, for one, would be very curious to see that match. Serrano up on that top turnbuckle. Mike Graham depositing him up there. Graham. Serrano went to sweep the leg. You notice the way Graham closed in on him, turned that to his own advantage. Had him in the pinning combination. Now Serrano down across those femoris muscles. Good move by Serrano, up and away. Back on their feet once again. Serrano duck under, go behind. Graham hooked that arm, scores the takedown to an inside armbar. Now Serrano with a head scissors. Clean break, both men back on their feet. Good move by Graham. Duck under, go behind, a forward leg trip. Now a crotch ride on the ankle. And a rear chin lock. Tag is made. Kern back into the ring now. A back leg trip by Kern has Serrano back to the canvas. Kern with a step over now on Serrano. Serrano rolling that shoulder off. He's in a predicament. Good move by Serrano. And by Kern. Good reversal. Both teams outstanding competitors. A very, very important match for both teams. Okay, tag is made. Both teams, as we've seen thus far, exhibiting a tremendous sense of fair play. Good sportsmanship down the line. Back to what it's all about. Wrestling. Human chess at its very finest. Serrano caught him that time. Mata back into the ring. Mata closes in very quickly. Off the ropes. And it's Mata catching Mike Graham. A good shoulder smash off the ropes. Once again, that time Graham was set. High hip toss had Mata back to the canvas. Graham brings him up. Graham, who has been a three-time state powerlifting champion, brought him up into that full slam. Good move. Back of the elbow. Both men crashing into each other, but it's Mata making the tag. Kern coming up a little slowly, and the tide of this one may be turning now as Serrano, a full body slam on Steve Kern. Serrano closing in again. Another full body slam, and Kern could be in trouble here, coming up rather slowly. And that time it was Kern reversing the situation. A good, high, full body slam. Kern came off with a forearm. Came off with a forearm. And that rocked Serrano's head. That rocked him coming off. And Steve Kern has developed perhaps one of the most awesome forearms in professional wrestling. We're going to take a look at that again. And there you see a fine display of sportsmanship. There you see the slam. Now watch Kern. Off those ropes, set. Rolls that forearm, fought Serrano alongside the jaw, jarred the brain, stunned him, put him down, hooked the near leg, scored the pinfall. And so a fine victory for Mike Graham and Steve Kern over a very, very fine team of Don Serrano and Raul Mata. There you see Joe LeDuc pacing back and forth, the Canadian freight train, who now refers to himself as a citizen of the world. Referee is standing there waiting. We're waiting now for Steve Travis to come into the ring, and this should be quite a match indeed. Steve Travis, a very, very popular young athlete and a great young athlete. And so a severe test. Let's turn it over to our ring announcer at this point.
This match is for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Charlottesville, Virginia, weighing 240 pounds, Steve Travis.
Steven got into the ring. LeDuc slams him into the ring. The referee calling for the bell and then warning LeDuc to stay back. Travis tearing off that shirt. Travis ducking away and back on his feet. Travis ducks under. He's too smart to meet this man head on. Ducks away again. And so, Joe LeDuc, sort of coming off the wall anyway. Good flying drop kick by Travis and LeDuc. LeDuc may be in trouble here. Travis catches him and puts him down. Steve Travis caught him, a good shoulder smash. Oh, wait a minute. LeDuc caught him coming in, a backbreaker. LeDuc caught him with a backbreaker. LeDuc down with that forearm across the chest, brings Travis up once again. Has him up, the one-arm backbreaker. And LeDuc with a strange look on his face. Scores that pinfall. Let me get over there and talk to him for just a minute. We'll take a look at that. Wait a minute, he's after Travis again. He's still after him. Wait a minute, the referee going outside. He has reversed the decision. He has reversed the decision for LeDuc's behavior after the match. He has reversed the decision. Steve Travis having his hand raised in victory. A reversal of the decision by the referee. And certainly, I think, exactly the right thing to do in this case. LeDuc had the man pinned, then threw him over that top rope. And so that has cost Mr. Joe LeDuc a reverse decision.
Yeah. You don't have to tell anybody, do you know? You know, Mr. Soule, like everybody knows, I guess you told some people to put in a program, in a wrestling program, that I haven't had a successful tour in Japan. That's right. It was a disaster. But I know why it was a disaster. There's one thing that I would like to say on national television. Everybody remembers what happened before I left for the Orient tour. I've got hit by a man that everybody knows, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Well, Mr. Rhodes, I don't know where you are now. I've been looking for you. I'm in Florida now, right now. I'd like to see you right now, Mr. Rhodes. And if you will, Mr. Soule, contact Mr. Rhodes and tell Mr. Rhodes that the freight train, Joe LeDuc, is back in Florida and I am in tip-top shape. I can take anything, anytime, and anywhere. It doesn't make any difference. You just saw a little example over here. All I did with the Punk is give him one little backbreaker, and the guy was down for a count of 1, 2, 3. And Dusty Rhodes.
Yes, well, thank you very much.
I'm not through yet. Dusty Rhodes, you hear me now. When you come back to Florida, I will not send you to hospital because that's too good for you. You take too good care of you. But every night when you go to bed, you will wonder why you don't sleep. And Michelle will ask you why you don't call her close to her. And you'll tell her, that damn LeDuc's hurt me. He's hurt me and I can't sleep. Now come back, Dusty Rhodes. Come and see me.
Well, thank you very much. The comments from Joe LeDuc, and we'll be right back.
This match is for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Oklahoma, weighing 234 pounds, a former world heavyweight champion, Jack Briscoe. His opponent from Minnesota, weighing 250 pounds, Bill Irwin.
Bill Irwin moving out against Jack Briscoe. Briscoe, of course, former world heavyweight wrestling champion. Quick arm drag takedown by Briscoe. Briscoe, the absolute master of the fireman carry takedown. There it is. Exactly what I'm talking about. He has more ways to get you into a fireman carry takedown than one can imagine.
And Jack Briscoe, after winning the NCAA championships in 1965 and 66, turned professional. And then he became very, very close friends with Eddie Graham, learned the Eddie Graham figure 4 leg lock, which eventually took him to the World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. Briscoe now with a side headlock on Irwin. Briscoe could be called the consummate wrestler. Earlier in his career, a hot temper hampered him slightly. But as he matured, he became absolutely the most proficient competitor in the world. You'll notice that very rarely is there a wasted motion. He has him now in a hammerlock. Notice the way he grapevined with his, or scissored with two of his legs and then hooked the other one of Irwin's with his arms and brought Irwin into the canvas. Now Irwin into the ropes. Again, Briscoe back on his feet. Duck under go behind by Irwin. Interesting to see what Briscoe's able to do here. All right, Briscoe into a bottom wrist lock, lateral drop, and takedown lateral press. Good chain wrestling by Jack Briscoe. Jack, of course, is a 4-letter athlete in high school. Went to Oklahoma State on a wrestling scholarship, as did his brother Jerry. Bill Irwin using those forearms rather effectively. Ooh! Briscoe caught one, and his eyes rolled on that one, and Irwin closes in again. Briscoe caught that one high on the cheekbone, but as Briscoe firing back to the midsection, one to the side of the jaw. And there's that Briscoe temper flaring now. Briscoe brings him off, catches him again in the pit of the stomach. Double underhooks. High belly to back suplex. Hooks the far leg and scores a pinfall. And no question about it, that temper exploded with Jack Briscoe, and when it did, it exploded on Bill Irwin. We'll take a look at that once again. Watch Briscoe move in. Double underhook, driving that head deep into his stomach. Brings his man up and over. Well executed. Irwin down. Briscoe float over into the lateral press and scores the pinfall. Heard the comments. One thing I happen to know about Manny, and checking your past records and all of this throughout high school, throughout college, throughout the service, you've never quit.
That's right. You know, Gordon, way back a long time ago, my mother raised me up. She told me to go out there. If I started something, I better be able to finish it. Well, I darn sure did every time I started it. Terry Funk, let me tell you a little something. I didn't survive Vietnam because I quit, brother. I came back because I kept on fighting for what I believe is right. And what I believe is right is this championship I hold and this belt. And Terry Funk, with the heart I got and the heart I've had all my life, I never quit, brother. And we'll fight, and we'll fight, and it might be forever, but I'll never quit, and I'll never say I quit. Toda mi gente latina, ya oyeron este hombre las palabras que dijo. Este hombre está bien loco. Me quiere ganar el cinto, este cinto de mi gente latina. Y como dice, yo soy latino y la sangre corre más bravo que todos los latinos. Y este cinto nunca lo pierdo por mi gente.
This match is for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Texas, weighing 240 pounds, the Florida champion, Manny Fernandez. His opponent from Macon, Georgia, weighing in at 225 pounds, Chick Donovan.
Chick Donovan moving up against Manny Fernandez. Donovan, a second-generation athlete in tremendous condition. Manny Fernandez, of course, out of West Texas State. Side headlock, but Fernandez slipped away from it. And it was Fernandez. Good move that time. Sort of a crotch takedown, hooks those legs, has Donovan on the canvas. Fernandez has tremendous speed, great swiftness. Right, Fernandez clamps down on those legs once again. Now, Fernandez knows full well the capabilities and speed of Donovan, so consequently, apparently his strategy at this point is to try and take away some of that speed. Fernandez Fernandez keeping him tied up. Donovan on the canvas. Donovan into those ropes. Forces the break. Fernandez back on his feet very quickly. And Donovan favoring that left leg now where the pressure has been. And so this will possibly slow as it drop toe hold by Fernandez. And again, a lot of people are swift. Fernandez is sudden. First you see him, then you don't, because he's moving. Okay, Fernandez with the crotch ride now once again, punishing the legs of Chick Donovan. All right, Fernandez keeping the pressure on Donovan now. Fernandez is a completely aggressive competitor. Had an outstanding history in athletics at West Texas State. On from there into the underwater demolition teams of the United States Navy. Has had an occasional knee problem. He wears those knee pads. Donovan trying to hook across the chin of Fernandez. And Fernandez, utilizing his legs that time, was able to break it up. And Donovan still on the canvas. The referee checking, and Fernandez continues. Look at the way now he's hooked with those legs. Donovan trying to battle his way over to those ring ropes again, grasping at that canvas, trying to get a grip on that canvas, trying to pull himself over. Finally does, makes it to the ring ropes in almost sheer desperation. And Donovan having some problems now. So obviously, Fernandez's strategy is working exceptionally well. Fires to the midsection of Manny Fernandez. And Fernandez caught again by Donovan. Fernandez using the back of the elbow that time, staggers Donovan. Donovan now, forearm drag, whips him off. Fernandez comes across, catches him. Has the pinfall. Had the count of 3, and Fernandez comes up with his hand raised. Caught him about in the hips that time. Donovan off the side of the ropes, and it was Donovan taking a swing at Fernandez. Fernandez had him in a side headlock. Fernandez has already scored the pinfall. Off the rope. Ooh! Wow! Both men crashing into each other. Fernandez is down. Donovan outside the ring. Fernandez has won the match. Knocked out here with both men crashing into each other. Wait a minute. Terry Funk has just come into the ring. Terry Funk pushing the referee to one side. And Terry Funk. And it's the referee being thrown out, and now Terry Funk putting a spinning toe hold on Fernandez. Fernandez coming to with that horrible pain coursing through his body now as Terry Funk continues to apply that spinning toe hold. And Frenchie Bernard out there trying to break it up, so is the referee, and it's obvious now that Terry Funk is out to try and destroy the wrestling career of Manny Fernandez. They're trying to get him separated now. They have him off. And Fernandez, and I don't know what kind of shape he's in, but he took horrible punishment. He took horrible punishment at the hands of Terry Funk when he was unconscious in the ring. And Funk, now Don Serrano and Raul Mata out there. And I wonder if that's what Mr. Funk meant. I wonder if that's what Mr. Funk meant when he said that he would wrestle Manny Fernandez in his own time, in his own way, in his own kind. But he took advantage of a man who was knocked unconscious, and Fernandez, his head bleeding rather. He's been lacerated, and that leg, they're going to have to help him out. There's no question about that. Manny Fernandez, I'm sure, is not capable of walking at this point in time. And they're trying to get him to his feet. Obviously, Manny Fernandez in intense pain. They're going to have to carry him out. Manny Fernandez caught in that spinning toe hold by Terry Funk after Fernandez was knocked out. And, well, we'll be back. As they help Manny Fernandez out, we'll be back in just a moment. I quit.
Oh, the 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Germany, weighing 242 pounds, the Gestapo. His opponent from parts unknown, weighing in at 230 pounds, the Southern champion, Sweet Brown Sugar.
Sweet Brown Sugar, the Southern heavyweight champion, moving against the Gestapo, and the Gestapo unloading some heavy artillery in a hurry here. Sweet Brown Sugar caught in the throat that time and driven to the canvas. And the Gestapo is the Southern heavyweight champion down. A very important match for the Gestapo, obviously. Catches Sweet Brown Sugar in the pit of the stomach. Gestapo brings him up into a backbreaker. Tried for a lateral press to no avail.